Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Endzone World Apart, brand new potential series here on the channel, depending on how the recording software is gonna cooperate. I've tried to record this already and the capture card was doing some really weird stuff, so I had to start all over again. So for those of you who are new to the channel, I have not played this game before, so I'm not really sure what I'm getting into. So fair warning, we are gonna have to go through the tutorial in order for me to understand what the hell it is that the game is expecting of me to achieve, and then eventually we might get into building our settlement in this post-apocalyptic world in some nuclear fallout type of scenario. So we're gonna go through the tutorial, and hopefully I'm not gonna suck too bad, and hopefully the recording is gonna be okay this time, or I'm gonna go completely bonkers.
We finally left the end zone. Just look at this beautiful scenery. It's marvelous, even though it's a bit different from what we had pictured. We were able to secure a few basic resources and are storing them in our bus.
Okay, let's build ourselves a new home.
I'm glad we prepared ourselves well for this kind of scenario, especially since our inventories in the end zone ran low. Don't forget that if you need additional information, you can look at our survival guide at any time.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to do that quite a lot. Seems like we have some large bodies of water. There's scrap all over this damn place, so that's gonna be probably useful for something. There's even like residue of concrete. It looks like whatever happened here must have affected the place quite badly, so I guess let's do it. Open the survival guide. Okay, so using tasks, with the help of tasks, freely available settlers are instructed to gather certain resources or remove radiation in certain area. Tasks like these will only be performed by settlers who do not perform any function. Up to 4 settlers can work per one task. Construct buildings, then we have professions, reproduction, okay, hunger, it's gonna be interesting, thirst, weather, confidence, health, there's just gonna be a ton of stuff.
Everything you need to know should be right here. I think the time has come for us to at last build ourselves a new home here.
What are these? Deer? Stag. Some weird looking stag. Weird coloration on it, but okay.
Before we can construct buildings at all, we have to assign the profession builder to several settlers so that they can take care of construction contracts. In general, it's your responsibility to decide which tasks are important and how our settlers are supposed to be distributed to attend to them.
Okay. Assign settlers to professions. Ah, okay, so we have... Let's go with 2 builders for now. Hold on, we need 3.
All right. Your builders will be ready as soon as construction contracts have been issued. It's time to start focusing on our key and most basic need, water.
Okay, so we have source of it close by.
The first thing we ought to do is to establish a working water supply. So we'll move on to our first construction contract. Place and build a jetty by a lake in the vicinity of your town center.
Okay. Jetty. Where is that? What is that? A jetty. Okay, do I need to rotate this? Let's build it like so. Or theoretically, can I... How do I demolish this? Delete. I want to relocate it. Cancel construction. Okay. I want to have it so that it's somewhat aligned over here, but I don't think we're gonna be able to do that. Hold on. Yep, let's build it on the edge. I don't know if I need any sort of deep water or whatnot. in order for our people to be able to do what is necessary. Okay. God, I hope this footage is gonna be okay. I swear to God, I don't know what's up with the Elgato, because like if I do Control or Doom Eternal or things like this, it's working perfectly fine. But then when I switch to something like, I don't know, it just turns completely bonkers, and I don't know what to think about it then. Can we speed this up a bit, maybe? Okay, we have the option to build a bit faster. It would be nice if we can build a road, cistern, water tower, well, electric water pump, rainwater collector, irrigation plant, food, resources, housing, community, logistics, dirt road.
Very good. The jetty was completed as planned. Now we have a place where we can collect water. There are other possibilities to gather water too, but the jetty is the simplest and most cost-effective method.
Okay.
We can obtain and store water from different sources, like a jetty, rain collector, or well in the cistern. The cistern should always be in close proximity to a water source, so that our water carriers don't have to walk too far.
Understood. Cistern. So we need water. Cistern. Assign settler to profession water carrier. So we need 3 water carriers. It's so far not allowing me to do that, so I'm assuming we first require the construction of the cistern. Let's build it like this. It was logistics, right? Dirt roads, removed road, upgrade roads, tech, exploring station, research station, electricity, decorations, defense. Okay, tasks, remove radiation, gather wood, gather plants. Interesting stuff. So I had my eye on this game for a bit now. I wanted to pick it up either A for the comparison series and B for some other purpose too. I wanted to like still, it's not just that I want to be like making stuff for YouTube. I still do love video games, so I do want to go through them, explore them, and see what can be done. So one of the main reasons why, of course, then it is I try to bring as much as I can to the channel. That might mean that I'm all over the place from time to time. So we might see a couple of episodes for Dismantle, and a couple of episodes for this, and a couple of episodes for that. Can I understand it can be annoying?
We have now installed a working water supply, and water is now transported from the jetty to our cistern. Consider hiring more water carriers if you don't have enough settlers available. You can never have enough water in storage.
Understood.
Now we should focus on food production. It's important to ensure the supply right from the start. The gatherer's cabin, a hunting lodge, or a fishing hut can directly remedy the situation. I suggest starting with a fishing hut, since we're already located near a lake.
Now the question is, can we somehow determine based on looking at a body of water if fish are present in it? Because if I, for example, look at this and it has this sort of weird coloration, I don't know if it's just because of the sand, or like if I need like really deep water, or if I'm looking for actual fish swimming in the water, because not every body of water will guarantee you fish living in it. So it's kind of weird thing to consider, but okay, we're gonna go for resources, housing, community, logistics, food, fishing hut. Okay, it seems pretty damn massive. I cannot align it with the jetty, but we can build it like here. Efficiency of 100. Theoretically, I wanna cancel this and the more body of water we have, the better it might be. So if we build it like so, we just are controlling or having control over a much larger range of space. I don't know if this body of water can be used up, so like if the jetty can actually take out the entire water or something and put it inside of a cistern. Also, I have no idea. In stock 888, production limit 90,000, but I don't see how much we are consuming. That's the problem which I'm running into. And the stags are just running around, kind of annoying a bit, because it's a source of food. Hunting lodge would be great for it, but in order for you to allocate a hunting lodge, it usually needs to be somewhere further from your civilization. Water tank, contamination none. Okay, that might change after the first storm rolls in. I don't know the rules of this universe as of yet. And we need fishers, or fishermen. We need 2 of them, and we need to produce 50 food. So 2 fellas are gonna come over here. I really am missing the fact that I don't have some sort of logistics put in place. Having at least a dirt road would be great. It would give me some sort of sense of how to plan or what to do or what not to do. But let's just try to get the food.
We've now taken care of our basic supply via food and water. Make sure that you have enough food and water on hand at all times, especially if you want to upgrade your settlement. A population that grows too fast can quickly unbalance your food and water supply, bringing major difficulties for you if you don't watch out.
Okay.
Crops are another excellent way of getting food, because they constantly grow as long as the soil is moist enough. Each seed has different yields and growing times. This means that it could take some time until your field is ready to be harvested, in contrast to your fishing hut, where production can be right away.
Makes sense. What is this? Soil moisture. Ah, so it shows you. Wow. Okay. I'm kind of, what does what mean? Dried out is red, orange is dry, green is moist, and then we have wet, so that's water. Moist is over here, so that probably explains why there's so many trees with actual leaves while the other vegetation is completely dried out. Okay, so cultivate field. Assign settlers to profession of a farmer. But if we want to build an actual farm, cultivate. Okay, but we need to check out this thing. So we cannot build it. Ooh, man, this entire place is completely freaking dry. So the only thing which has any sort of moisture is over here. And I'm not really sure if it's because we are in some drought region season or whatever. Assign settler to profession, seeds from fields chosen one. I literally don't know where to build this, because wherever I go, whatever I do now, even the woods which were previously in the moist area are now, or the wetland are now suffering. So I'm not really sure. Maybe if I skip to some different time. No, it's not doing anything. Okay, what's happening here? Dried out. So this whole region is dried out, and it's somehow moving from point A to point B, which is kind of interesting. This is usually, considering the fact that it's still raining, or it was raining until recently, this can be kind of detrimental, as trying to allocate a place for you to have a steady farmland can become quite tricky. So, like, if I actually shut the hell up and just try to put something over here, I don't know, like 5 times 5, it's not even letting me do so. Because this is just dried out. Okay, now we have actually some land which we can work with. And I'm literally confused right now because it's showing me wet. Okay, this is changing way too dramatically fast for me to make any sort of sense out of. Rain cloud. Okay, so these are rain clouds. That's why it's moving. Okay. This is gonna be kind of tricky to figure out. So let's see if we can actually set up a field. I don't know how large does it need to be. Okay, so it looks like we need certain size in order for it to work. And we need to set up a person to become a farmer. One farmer. Seeds from... And how the hell do I choose the seeds, man? Okay. Choose the seeds. Cabbage. Okay.
Looks good. Remember that we need the widest variety of food sources to stay healthy. You should also plan ahead for drought periods that might come when it's not going to rain. Stock up on food and adapt your production to avoid bottlenecks. I'll show you a few more strategies later on. At the beginning, we don't have much scrap, wood, or other resources. We could build a production building, but to obtain resources as fast as possible, it's best that we start gathering right away. Assign a Gather All Resources task. All the settlers who haven't been assigned any profession by you are going to accept these kinds of tasks. In addition, settlers distribute resources within your settlement.
Okay. I'm looking for gather everything, but all I see is gather wood and gather scrap. So you don't have like a universal one. I guess we can build it or put it down here. And for the scrap metal, build it over there. And I'm assuming I'm gonna have to assign people, or no, not really. We have water carriers, 3. We have 1 farmer. We have 2 fishermen. This person is trying to cultivate cabbage, but it's gonna take some time. So if you watch, for example, Dawn of Man or any other series on the channel, you might feel familiar with that. So they're chopping everything down. Food we seem to be managing well.
Since we now own plenty of resources, we can start to build a real production building. Then you don't have to always make efforts by hand that collecting is taking place. Production buildings are not only easier to manage, they are also distinctly more effective than simple tasks. Don't place production buildings too far away from your settlement. You'll be able to change their working area at any time later on.
Okay.
Right on. The best thing for us to do now is to build a forester's lodge to automate our supply of wood and make it more effective at the same time. Foresters are not only able to chop down trees, they reforest areas with trees as well.
Makes sense. So resources, right? Forester's Lodge. That's quite a range of effect. I would love to build it somewhere over here, to be perfectly honest with you. Just due to the simple fact that there is so much of this. And there should be some initial space for you to build up your settlement. So I'm gonna build it over there. And we're gonna need to set up 1 forester. Wood produced 8 out of 20, okay. Are we gonna be able to build those basic logistical dirt roads? No. Awesome. So let's speed this up, see what's gonna happen. Okay, the tank is starting to be full. I'm not sure if I need to cancel out the gathering of this. Demolish, change field of work. Let's demolish this because that's gonna allow us to refocus over here. The scrap metal can be gathered. That's okay. I don't see a scrap catcher. A catch of scrap that slowly whirls around. Okay. Scrap yard. Scrap yard collects scrap from ruins or scrap catchers in a predefined zone. Okay, interesting. We have cleared out at least something. Cabbage is... I would love to know when this is done or what's the status of this, if there would be some sort of indicator. We are in a dry soil, so that's not the most effective thing.
Good job. You might want to change this building's working area later on to tell your workers where they should get their wood from. Ah, and for your information, if you want, you can also tell your Forester's Lodge that they only ought to attend to reforesting an area in order to create a lush, green forest which generations to come can use.
Understood.
Very good. Now we ought to take care of collecting scrap. Scrap is one of the most valuable resources because the quantities present are limited, and we can recover other resources from scrap. Unlike the task we just had, the scrap yard allows larger quantities of existing scrap to be dismantled than with ruins or wrecks.
Okay, I have no idea where we are storing that cabbage. Seems like it's gone, but because we have a incoming drought, I don't really know how the water tank is gonna be able to hold up. And also considering the fact that this is a body of water not connected to rivers or anything, if this would completely dry out, whatever fish would be living in it is gone. Like, it would die. So that's what's making me kind of worried here. The scrapyard build aligns settlers to the professional scrap collector. Do we have any people assigned for the forester's duty? We do. So now we need a scrapyard. There's quite a lot actually for us to do here. Scrapyard. I would love to build it somewhere around here. Just take a look at all these resources. It's like recycling for someone who is obsessed with recycling. I don't know. Shut up. Scrapyard, scrap collector, there's that. Scrap reused, okay. I don't know if there's gonna be seasons like winter or something like this. Knowledge, rich food, coal, electronics, plastic, metal, cloth, medication, radiation protection, tools, scrap, and wood. It's actually funny that still we will rely upon wood. Even in the apocalypse, that is if the trees are gonna live long enough to see the apocalypse happen. Because with how weird we are and how weird we are regarding our woods and stuff, it's gonna be kind of difficult. Okay, so notifications, homeless settlers, oncoming droughts. Okay. Scrap collector.
Great. You can change the working area for the scrapyard.
How?
We can recycle scrap into 4 additional resources: cloth, metal, plastic, and electronics.
Okay.
We'll do that shortly, but for now we ought to take care of your settlers' needs first.
Okay.
Our people want a place to sleep and live. Cabins fulfill their need for safety and privacy and increase the confidence of their inhabitants. In other words, building cabins increases their willingness to start families and reproduce, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't. So cabins built. Okay, so we need some sort of sector where we can start building the cabins. And the best of all, it would be if it's all in one location. Theoretically, if we were to align it, damn it, like this. Or we can build it somewhere, because I don't know if this hill over here is intentional, if there's like coal deposit or something. Okay, you see this? You see what I'm talking about? Literally, if this would happen to a lake and there was fish before, the fish would just not magically reappear unless it's like one of the ancient kinds which are able to form the sort of weird film out of like this weird substance, and they hibernate in this small body of water created by this weird receptacle which they are able to create from slime and other substances which they secrete from their body. And then once the water returns, they are able to break through that, break from the hibernation, and start living again, gathering calories and surviving. But I don't think that's possible here, that this would just literally kill everything. And look at how fast this lake is refilled. I mean, come on. At least make it a little bit unrealistic or realistic. Don't make the freaking river refill in 5 seconds. How am I gonna... Let's make it... like this for now. We still don't have access to like dirt roads and such. We do have... This is still full. We're gonna have our people do what is necessary to be done. Do have access to wood and scrap for now, so good for us. I do wonder, change field of work. Oh, so you can from one location send them off to... Okay, so the size doesn't really change. Okay, I can live with that. So you just can build these and they will just go from point A to point B. So that's awesome. But considering the fact that if you send them God knows how far, all sorts of things can potentially happen. I mean, I'm not that thrilled about building the cabins over here because we had those boars which keep popping in and out of here, out of these woods. And I don't know if we're gonna get food out of them or not, because hunting boars is dangerous. Hunting boars is dangerous. I mean, my dad was at the job and he was delivering some stuff at some place and for the company that he works for, and he had to go into this weird further off place, and suddenly when he stepped out of the car,
you can also provide sturdy houses and shelters as housing. Sturdy houses withstand sandstorms better and have an increased storage capacity to boot. Children living in houses gradually fill up the house's stockpiles. Settlers do not reproduce in a shelter because they lack privacy.
Got it.
Let's return from our excursion into housing and refocus on scrap. With the help of a recycler or refinery, scrap can be sorted into 4 different resources. A recycler always takes scrap apart, one resource at a time, while a refinery automatically produces all 4 resources. To start off, you should build a recycler and produce cloth.
Anyhow, the story goes he came across a wild boar and he had to carefully walk away from the animal so that it would not attack him, because that would be just GG. So yeah, don't do stupid stuff is the point of that, I assume. So it looks like we have people living in here. I don't really know. We have 15 people. 8 houses should be equal to 16. So that's probably why Amy is alone. Poor girl. So we need recycler. Resources. Recycler. I don't know if it should be adjacent to this or not, but we're gonna go for it. We're gonna see what's gonna happen if it gets constructed. And cloth. Metal, glass, cloth. Okay. So maybe because it's like right next to the scrapyard, it will be easier for the recycler to get us the cloth that we so desperately need, as we have 0 cloth, 0 metal, 0 plastic, and 0 medication, 0 electronics. So maybe having like multiple ones is not the worst thing ever, since we do have almost 500 scrap as is. Still would love to be able to do the logistics though. That helps me somehow plan out the potential layout of whatever this is supposed to be. Assign settlers to profession refiner. Cloth produced 4. Okay, so that's gonna take some time. What is this arrow? Okay, so it looks like we have more resources than we can store. Water is at the minimum, but that's because the limit is 90,000.
Produce a different resource at a time. It's important that you focus on the resources you really need, at least in the beginning. Cloth and metal look like good options if you want to equip us with protective clothing and tools.
Okay.
Happy settlers are industrious settlers. That's why we ought to look after our people and protect them against the surroundings and dangers, like radiation. So let's start by transforming our newly recovered cloth into protective clothing. A tailor will be able to help us with that.
Okay. Resources. Tailor shop. It's too big in order to be right next to our housing. Theoretically aligned like this would work. But even better would be probably to have it aligned with the production structures. So let's build it over here. Next scarf, active carbon radiation suit. We need cloth, we need scrap, we need wood. I don't know what am I supposed to, however, get specifically. Is it the radiation suit or? Okay, so what exactly is it that I'm supposed to be making right now? Understood? Terrestrial radiation. Okay, this region seems to be okay. Local attractiveness. Okay. Electricity. There's no electricity. And building condition. Okay, so we're gonna have to monitor quite a lot of statistics. Needs coal, plastic, and cloth. Radiation suit. Next scarf. Is that it? Okay, next scarf. Sure, I guess. We do have people assigned to that profession, right? We have 2 of them. Although I need only 1. So I do apologize if this is not as stimulating as it might eventually get to, but I find that if I'm objectively trying to judge a game or if I'm trying to learn it...
We categorize environmental radiation into 4 levels. No radiation, low level, medium level, and high level radiation. The radiation changes constantly, and is influenced by weather and contaminated rain. Protective clothing helps to protect us against this kind of radiation, but it takes a while before it's produced. And production relies on a steady flow of incoming resources. Try to establish production chains at an early stage and start to stockpile goods so that some are always on hand. The tools we brought along from the Endzone are slowly but surely running out. So now, let's focus on manufacturing new tools. The tools will help us to work effectively. We'll need metal for that, so we'll prepare for production by building another recycler, which we'll commission to recover metal from scrap. After that, we'll need a workshop to enable the manufacturing of brand new tools.
Okay, let's do it. So we need a couple of things. We need a recycler number DOS. And unfortunately this building is too damn wide for it to be done effectively. So we're gonna do this and we're gonna switch to metal. And then we're gonna go with a workshop. And coincidentally, these two structures seem to be perfectly aligned, so they have the same size. So we're gonna put it over there. And we're gonna have to probably assign person for a refinery. So a refiner and workshop build 1 and a technician number 1, although we don't have any more settlers. So that sucks. We have 2 fisher, 1 farmer, 1 scrap collector, 2 refiners, yep, 1 tailor, 1 forester. People, you need to hump more. I don't have any other way to say it. I just need more people. Workshop builds, it's not yet built. Scrap tool, metal tool, scrap tool. I guess scrap tool is what we'll have to rely on. Metal tool, okay, so metal tool. Maybe that's gonna be better. Metal tool produced, 2 of them. I unfortunately don't have anyone working for me as a technician, so maybe we're gonna have to switch one of the water carriers. I mean, we do have almost a full cistern as is. And now we have the sort of workshop for the neck scarves and the metal tools. We have 10 tools left. I'm assuming that the scrap tools decompose much faster in comparison to the metal ones. Oh, he literally has like a blacksmith shop up and running in here. That's so cool. So we have the technician, now we're just waiting for the metal tools to be processed. The cabbage field seems to be working. Crop yield 144 food. Soil moisture dry, now it's moist. We can choose different seeds. I don't know if it's gonna depend on black salsify. Black salsify can be harvested from the fields. We have squash, wheat, bell pepper, corn, carrot, zucchini, tomato, hemp, that's more of a technical crop, not the one which you smoke. Beans, so everyone's gonna be farting. Potatoes, that's high in vitamin C. Lupin, I'm not sure if this is for growing stuff. And sugar beets, maybe for eventually making like alcohol or something, because the sugar can be fermented, or maybe I'm getting way too ahead of myself. Anything is honestly possible. I don't think we're gonna be able to reinstate Nestle and start a Mars factory or something. That is if Nestle owns Mars. I think Mars is separate. I'm not sure right now. Don't quote me on it. But you can understand my point, right? Like, we're not gonna see cocoa plants appearing here. Okay, so they're carrying everything. And the thing is that because this is along the way, I'm assuming they do not have to carry it to the damn drop-off point over here. They apparently do have to. But because these production places are so close by, I'm assuming they're going to be able to pick up whatever is necessary here as soon as possible. So I can totally live with that. Notification. Homeless settlers. Build additional houses. Okay. Let's build 3 additional houses. Maybe this is gonna give us access to more people. Children 2, adults 18.
With our lovely new tools, we are now prepared to work effectively. Should you ever run out of metal, keep in mind that you can also instruct your workshop to manufacture tools from scrap instead of metal. Though they won't be quite as effective, it's still better than being forced to work with bare hands.
Understood.
Down in the Endzone, we had sufficient time and resources to educate ourselves properly. But our children don't have this luxury. We ought to build a school and pass on what we've learned. As a result, they will be able to survive and work better and more effectively.
We're gonna need a profession of a teacher. And we should consider building the school somewhere close by to the housing so that the kids are capable of getting their education. So I'm thinking over here. We're gonna need to assign a teacher. Storage capacity, improve your infrastructure. Okay. Can I build something for logistics? Technology, electricity, decoration, defense, tasks. Upgrade building. I don't know if we can upgrade this. Bus wreck. Can we literally upgrade this? No, I don't think so. I don't see campfire, medical facility, housing, shelter, Mercer's Lodge, recycler, Herbal Hut, fishing, cultivating, crops, gatherers, cabin, orchard hunting, pasture. I got nothing, people.
Perfect. Besides the fact that educated children work more effectively, we'll also teach them to be more careful with their protective clothing and tools. This, in turn, leads to them staying intact longer, and we conserve valuable resources.
Okay.
Now that our population is starting to grow, we ought to again turn our attention to the topic of food production. We are already accumulating fish and tilling our fields. A gatherer's cabin will now enable us to gather mushrooms and berries from the forest nearby.
It's probably most reasonable for you to build the gatherer next to the forester's lodge, because this way you are always ensured that there's gonna be access to woods, and these sort of things can then have access to bushes and mushrooms and stuff like that. But it also might mean that you have to build it somewhere, and I'm not sure if it will mean that you can build the gatherer cabin somewhere close here and then just have the accessibility to relocate the location where you want to have this to function. You know what? Let's build it like here. And we're gonna need a gatherer. Probably let's go with 2 of them. Storage capacity is running out. Improve your infrastructure. I did not see some sort of warehouse, so I'm not sure. We have 2 gatherers, berries produced, mushrooms produced. Mushroom is a natural source of protein. It's not really plant-based protein because mushrooms are not plants. They're a combination of 2 organisms. And the berries are berries, so that's plant-based, and I'm not really sure how berries will function here. especially considering the fact that weather can affect the radiation levels. It looks like so far we are dealing with like normal or no radiation whatsoever, so we don't have to worry about some negative effects. But I don't hear any Geiger counter. I mean, this is probably not the universe of Fallout where your Pip-Boy is gonna tell you what's up. But still, it would be probably logical for us to have some sort of countermeasure put in place in order to just do whatever. But once this is done, I want to see if we can actually relocate the change field of work. Yeah, because it has the option for the Forester's Lodge. It has the option for the Gatherer maybe too. For these local recyclers, no, not really, but for the scrapyard, definitely will eventually have so. Question is, do we, let's put one more person to water, just because. Technicians, we don't have access to that crazy amount of stuff here. Refiners are the people who are working in the recycling machines.
Good. As you can see, the Gatherer's cabin is an effective possibility to get food quickly. But watch out. After a drought, it's going to take some time before the plants have regrown. As is the case with most buildings, here too, you can relocate the working area at any time.
Okay.
Although we are sufficiently supplied at the moment, our survival depends on diligent planning. If we can lay out a plan for an orchard, then we can start to plant fruit or nut trees that we can harvest after a few seasons.
So nuts are good because they contain fats, and the fruits are good because they often contain vitamins and fiber. So it's slowly releasing energy into your body. So if you eat a candy bar, you get a instant sugar rush. But if you eat like apple, thanks to the fact that it has fiber in it, the energy is released over time. It also means you stay less hungry for a longer amount of time as well. But I'm quite sure all of you know that. It's just some basic stuff. Orchard build. Now the question is where exactly we're gonna do that, because like everything keeps changing so dramatically in here. I'm not really sure. Okay, the game keeps saving and it's kind of annoying. Also, I'm assuming it's gonna require quite a space, and it would be probably logical to have it closer to the water. Okay, so 6 times 6 seems to be the smallest we can do when it comes to fields. 8 times 12 seems like a decent enough idea. We're gonna require farmers, apparently, so we're gonna have to allocate more people to this, choose seeds. We have access to plum, apples, cherries, peaches, pears, pecans, and walnuts. Now, pecans are kind of uncommon for where I live, so we do have plums, apples, cherries, peaches, not really, pears, yes, and walnuts too. These are like things which you can come across, so we're gonna go with the plums.
The orchard has been laid out, and the trees are already beginning to grow. Similar to crops for farming, trees need some time until they are fully grown. But once they have grown, they can be harvested again and again until they have to be newly planted.
You have to replant them? Why?
Our gatherer's cabin gathers food from the surrounding forests. However, there are any number of other plants there which we can use as well. These plants can be gathered by an herbal hut. The herbs gathered there can be consumed by settlers to replenish their health.
Okay. So that means we're gonna have to build the Herbal Hut. 370 is the overall production. And we're gonna need, after a builder, to set up. We need one herbalist. Okay, now let's do one more farmer, I guess. We can try to also expand, therefore, maybe the farming or the cabbage field. I don't know how it will work though. If we were to do, for example, cultivation field, and I would want to add in like this, I don't think it's gonna simply allow me to do so. So I would have to probably scrap the whole thing once again and see what can be done. So we're gonna have, it looks like 12 trees for us to grow pears or plums. The funniest thing is, where I live, plums are actually used quite heavily in alcohol production. Okay, so Herbal Hut is built. So this is probably the base for the primitive medicine or something like that. We do have the bandanas, but we don't have radiation suits or anything really that much proper. So it's like you're just wearing a scarf in order to wrapped around your neck in order to protect yourself from radiation, which sounds pretty stupid, but okay. Unassigned workforce 1. I'm assuming maybe we might need more houses. And this is the funniest thing, it actually works out quite well in here. What are the odds? Still, however, would kill for an actual road to be available for me. Man, these deers are just annoying. So the population is going up and down, up and down. We have 5 kids.
Well done. We can equally utilize the gathered herbs to convert them into medicine later on. It might happen that an illness breaks out in our settlement from time to time and spreads among our settlers. That's why we always ought to have enough herbs on hand.
Okay.
Radiation is the main reason why the health status of our settlement can decrease. Although our settlers already use protective clothing to shield themselves against environmental radiation, it might occur that our sources of water become contaminated. We should start to filter our water to prevent this from happening. We will need a great deal of charcoal to accomplish this. The charcoal kiln will burn wood to produce charcoal.
Okay, understood. I'm assuming we're gonna need charcoal kiln maybe a bit further away from the housing, as I'm not sure if this can have like negative effect that the smoke is like toxic to the surrounding area or something. So maybe if I were to build it over here deep in the woods, nobody's gonna say anything. And it's close to also a source of wood. So the Forester's Lounge is right next door. Although based on what I'm observing, it seems like everyone has to drop off everything at the bus wreck, and only then we are able to produce whatever. So I'm not really sure if it would be more viable for me to just construct the charcoal kiln over here. Let's get it done like so. This way we have access to this. Scrap metal, there's still 736 scrap to be gathered. There's 757 woods. There's 340 herbs. There's 1,370 units of food. However, not every mushroom is edible, so I'm not really sure if they are so desperate they'll just eat anything. But I would be careful with mushrooms, because mushrooms can be extremely poisonous, and some of them look exactly like the edible kind. Charcoal burner. Man, this is gonna be the biggest portion of the game probably. Just trying to assign everything everywhere so that you have all these basic things accessible to you, for you, whatever. We have some cloth. We have almost 0 metal. I'm assuming primarily that's caused by this. It looks like we can have only one person to recycle at a time. So I'm not really sure if having this place is the most efficient way. And it looks like also our plums are done. Yep, seems like it. So rich.
Great. We can use the charcoal in conjunction with a filtration system to purify our water. Unfortunately, our cistern is not able to do this. Only the water tower has the necessary equipment for this capability. It would be a disgrace if we had to demolish our trusted cistern just to erect a water tower in its place. What we ought to do instead is upgrade the cistern itself. A water tower can store much more water and provides workplaces for a lot more water carriers than our old cistern.
Okay. But for that we need plastic, so I'm assuming we're gonna have to recycle plastic suddenly. So let's switch from cloth to plastic. Okay, hold on, we suddenly have access to plastic. Before we did not have it. And how do you plan on upgrading a cistern, which literally seems like it's covered by a piece of plastic, so that the water won't spill? A little confused there. So should we keep the plastic recycling going, or what's happening right now? Maybe one more teacher? Scrap collector. Forester. We're gonna need forester in order to ramp up our wood production, since the charcoal kiln is gonna be burning through wood rather fast probably. Okay, this is one ugly looking water tower, but it'll have to do. It'll have to do. We can have 10 people. And now you explain this to me. Like, does this person have to walk or climb up all these ladders in order to get up high in here? Because in order for you to actually have the water tower, there's a system of pumps which is allowing you to do a couple of things, but okay. We need more people for the refiner. Okay, so we're gonna have to build another recycler. Let's. Oh, what is this? Hold on. Okay, low radiation. I have to do it. Okay. Where did the radiation come from? Is it from the rain? Quite possible. So we're gonna need plastic, metal, and cloth. And refiner. Productivity, handling tools, handling clothing, badges. I'm not really sure like how many things can we select, or if each school has to have a different thing selected. I think we are surpassing our food storage capacity, which is nice on one side, but on the other side it's wasteful, because I'm not sure if it's gonna actually remain stored or not. Wow, the radiation is suddenly all over the damn place. Like literally it's all over. One stupid storm, huh? Hold on, we do have access to the charcoal. This is water, but how do I know if it's purified or not? Our production. Contamination, none. But they are just carrying the stuff in here. Filtration active. Let's do the active filtration. So they're gonna start carrying the charcoal into the water tower. Amount of water filtered per coal, 600. Interesting. So are we gonna get like a separate place or separate storage, because there is only one storage for this water to go to? So kind of wondering what to expect. Water carriers, let's go with 3 of them. Still running kind of low here. We have quite a lot of kids, lots of adults. I don't know how long is it gonna take for the kid to reach adulthood. Like if the bar is filled until like Lewis is gonna reach now full, does that mean he's gonna... Yep, okay, so once the bar is full, that means the kid is an adult and can join the workforce. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Assign settlers to profession water carrier. Okay, we need more water carriers.
Our new water tower is up and ready for action. Good work. Filtering the water is an important next step because clean drinking water is a key mainstay of any stable society. Let's begin with filtering our water. To save on charcoal, we ought to ensure that at least a little bit of water not contaminated by radiation is being stored in our water tower. Water gained from a well is never contaminated by radiation, so it suggests itself for that purpose. Then we can use the remaining charcoal to produce better protective clothing.
Okay. So well build, we will have to build well. Well produces water slowly, but uncontaminated by radiation, and regardless of droughts, short distance between wells reduce their efficiency. Can be upgraded by electric water pump. Okay, interesting. So we should not be building more of them together. Does this somehow affect... Let's build it next to the field just for the hell of it. Looks like radiation is now all over our place. So we're gonna have this, and therefore the cabbage is slightly contaminated too. I don't know if the cooking will do anything from it. Okay. This is gonna be done soon. So I don't know how this is gonna affect. So probably if we would put some of them, these lines should not cross over. But I don't think you can, however, transfer the area of effect for the well workforce. We need a person for a well keeper. That is if we have an adult. We are gonna have some kids growing up. Yeah, I see the contamination sign is popping in here. This building produces contaminated resources, so that sucks. Maybe greenhouses would be the way to go, since the radiation might not be capable of reaching the place that we will require, but that's a big if. What do you need for this? You need 2 cloth and charcoal 2. Carbon mask, and then we have a radiation suit, which is the most ridiculous of all of them. We need cloth, we need charcoal, and we need plastic. We don't have cloth for some reason. Although I am set up to produce cloth here, so I don't know what's up. Activate carbon mask production. Yeah, so we need these things. So that's just gonna have to take some time. We can theoretically put in 1 more tailor. Although that will theoretically offset our current situation with the cloth produced. And yeah, that's already kind of iffy. So this is only capable of producing water up to 350. This is limited based on if it's drought. But if we were to have to supply from a well like this, a water tower which has capacity of, let's say, 5,000, we would need quite a lot of them.
We are continuously taking steps towards being better and better equipped to be able to survive in this hostile environment. Filtered water is a precious asset, and later on we can even use it to irrigate our fields. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Not only our water can become a hazard for our settlers due to radiation, our food can too. We ought to erect a decontamination post to prevent settlers from eating meals that are contaminated with radiation.
Okay. So food? No. Resources? Maybe it's in... kitchen, pasture, housing, community, logistics, decontamination posts. Okay. Power consumption, 150. That place will require power. We do not produce any power as of now. So let's build this over here. I still don't see the option to upgrade the initial bus. Uh, 28 adults, 13 kids. I also don't see an option to be upgrading the houses. Giovanni is a kid here. Okay. Man, these boars just don't care. They're gonna come in here and do whatever. They're even obstructing our structure to be built. How rude. The question is, what sort of capacity, or at what capacity does this place need to run at in order to be efficient to, like, process all the food?
The decontamination post is going to supply all buildings that stockpile food and are located in its working area in order to purify the food that has been affected by radiation. It's true. We should never forget that even when we optimally prepare and protect ourselves, we're still going to lose friends and members of our family time and again. We're going to mourn them come what may. But if we're able to bury them in a cemetery, then we'll get over the pain and let them rest in peace.
Okay. So we need a cemetery. Wow, that's a large lot. So optimally building it somewhere around probably in here would be best, as it's kind of far away. I'm not really sure if the area of effect is supposed to be within the city limits or whatnot. Literally a bit confused on this. We're gonna go ahead and build it in here so it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, but still in reach. And the mortician. Jesus, we need even a mortician. And you guys came up with the dumbest positions ever. Pup keeper, okay. A logistician? What? Militia, scouts, explorers. Man, all these weird like job descriptions. Can you imagine trying to show up your CV? Yeah, I used to work in an office for the past 5 years. And now I'm gonna be making charcoal masks. Or something. I don't know. Weird stuff. Weird stuff. So the happiness is all over. But we need to clear the building area. We need wood. We need scrap. And then we... Oh, you need scrap? So does that mean you're gonna build the gravestone from scrap metal? It might have theoretically tapped into the accessible scrap that is in the surrounding area. I should theoretically consider getting more of these guys into the scrapyard stuff. Scrap collector. Definitely one more of the foresters. Just because we have lots of trees and cut down and reforest. Yeah, this is like they're busy. This ought to be done eventually. What do you mean we need a mortician? If the person dies from all these things which are happening here, I don't know. Wait, you can change the area of effect? Ah!
Okay. The cemetery will help us to quickly get a hold on ourselves and focus on the tasks that lie ahead. It's not a pleasant thought, but that's the way things are. At the very least, we're pioneers, aren't we? Maybe we ought to distract ourselves to lighten up the mood.
Got it.
We can erect a number of buildings to increase confidence in our settlement, including, for example, a campfire or a pub. In this situation, however, our best option would probably be to upgrade our town center. Settlers can visit the new town center. By doing so, increase their confidence for a while.
That's the upgrade you have done? Come on, guys, this looks awful. You like put down a line with pieces of cloth over it, and when we have to deal with constant radiation stuff, that's not the best thing to do.
Very good. The new town center not only gives us more storage space, at the same time, it functions just like a campfire, too. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while. Now that we have made efforts to ensure the spiritual well-being of our settlers, we ought to attend to their physical health as well.
Okay.
Our settlers can get sick from time to time. Settlers who have become infected with a disease can die from it if they're not treated. Settlers will go to a medical facility to have themselves treated and will be admitted there, provided that beds are still available. We ought to ensure our settlers' medical health care.
All right. So, medical facility. Okay. I'm trying to figure out where would be a decent spot to build it. I'm thinking over here should do just fine. We're gonna need to assign someone to become a medic, but I don't know if the people require a specific qualification for that. Medicine produced. Does this place produce medicine? We can assign 2 people to become medics. We can have 2 people to become herbalists because we have like a whole bunch of medication now. Or, well, that's the herbal remedies, but they don't cure everything, so that might have to be processed into additional stuff eventually. I don't know how many people unassigned workforce have place to live in, or how many do not have a place to live in. That's what's kind of freaking me out over these statistics. We are going up with the population, so that's okay. We have quite a lot of food. Wood is kind of problematic, but I see also an issue with this. Just these recyclers are incapable of producing this fast enough. So I'm not sure if their refinery, parallel to each other refinery, produces metal, cloth, plastic, and when research electronics from scrap, the production lines can be individually disabled. Refinery works faster and more efficiently than individual recyclers. So this is something which I would love to have my settlement get access to. But I don't think we're going to be able to do that as of now because this is still the tutorial. I still need to learn the basics of this. If I would just jump into the game and I would not know any of these things, like what does what do, how to treat water, how to treat food, and how to do all these things. It would probably end in an episode or two, so probably the first episode is gonna be the tutorial. The next one, we're gonna try to establish a settlement, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. And it's just gonna be all over the place from that point forward. And we really need more recyclers for the freaking metal. This is no joke. And also for cloth. Where is this? Scrap collector. No, we need refiner. That's the job. Medicine produced. So medicine is probably produced from the herbal remedies, and I don't know if the third icon is for like antibiotics or something. But considering in what state of decay everything is, this seems like whatever happened happened quite a long time ago. Just based on the asphalt and the road, like the infrastructure would take a bit longer to disappear than the buildings probably, although hard to tell, hard to tell. Like that movie I'm Legend with Will Smith, I wasn't never sure how much time has passed, because the state of decay in some of the buildings and such was just awful. But those things don't happen just overnight. It would take some time. I feel like we are low on stuff here. Needs cloth. Yeah, I feel you. We're gonna need to build another recycler for cloth production. Wait, why aren't we producing any cloth whatsoever? Recycler. Yep, and we're gonna assign another person for that job, and maybe one more for scrap collection. Because I don't know if the scrap which we have in our storage is the one that is being turned into all these things. And I don't know at what pace you guys work, like what food is where processed, or does every food go through the decontamination plant and then is being redistributed?
With this step, we have ensured the survival of the settlement for a while. Very good work. Since more and more children are being born these days, we should start to plan for the long term.
Okay.
While cabins are a good way to get settlers to start a family, they only provide limited space. This can quickly lead to people having to live on the street. Allow me to suggest to you that cabins be provided only in a very targeted manner in order to control the population growth of your settlement. Nothing is worse than not having...
Okay, I accidentally clicked and it stopped the audio. So, having enough resources to provide for everyone, we ought to build a shelter to be able to provide other inhabitants with a roof over their heads too. Alrighty, so housing, shelter. Whoa, this is massive. I'm trying to think of like what would be a great place to squeeze this in. And I'm thinking, well, maybe we're gonna go and build it over here. Still cannot build the road. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with this. All settlers. Old and infertile. All settlers. Okay. So we can make a retirement home? Wow. Interesting. How's our water situation? Okay, so the water is doing fine. We do have a rainy day. It looks like there's gonna be lots of rain, but that might also mean that the radiation is gonna be like all over the damn place. Like you can see after the rain has gone, the radiation is just spreading. And so it's not the best for us. This is usually because the radiation is bound to the water molecules, and therefore the radioactive isotope is causing it to spread around and soak into the soil. Depending on, however, how deep it goes, or what is the bedrock which you are working with, that might affect the underground water, if it's gonna be radiated or if it's not gonna be radiated. What is this? The building produces contaminated resource. Production limit is reached. Yeah, we know that we are producing the... okay, what needs coal? We need coal. We need to increase the workforce for charcoal.
Very good. Remember that when children grow up, they're going to leave their parents' house and look around for a new place to live. It might happen that they don't find any home at all. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide all inhabitants with a roof over their heads.
Okay, we have 25 settlers. That's a lot. Forester, herbalist, technician, fisher, farmer, gatherer, water carrier, well keeper. Let's go with 4 builders. We have still 18 people. We can go with 3 teachers. Go 2, go 3. Let's go with more herbalists. Let's go with more fishermen. Let's go with 4
I've already
gatherers.
pointed out to you that it could become very dangerous if we were to run out of food at some point. Since a lot of people are going to be living in the new shelter, we ought to provide them with access to food in their vicinity. A hunting lodge can look for wildlife in the surrounding area to bring a little meat to the menu.
Okay, still thinking we might have to build it somewhere at the outskirts of the town. And we're gonna have to put the field somewhere away. Looks like here we have quite a lot of wild game. So let's make that happen. And we're gonna have to allocate hunters. We still have people to do that, so that's fine. Okay. Capacity 25 out of 25. Very old adults and plenty of adults, young adults too. So it's all over the damn place. I'm not really sure if it's good for you to have cabins to produce kids, or if it's good for you to have shelters where you can have kids, adults, and everything in between. So the Hunter Lodge is here, and the area of effect is placed in this location. Although I do know that the deer tends to pop in here, or the boar tends to show up from this location, but I don't think it's gonna be that much of a problem. The question is if the food produced by a Hunter's Lodge is also radiated, because the animals are out in the wild, so the elements are affecting them, such as rain and so on and such. They can be drinking water, which might have radiation.
Perfect. The hunting lodge equally provides us directly with food, but it functions somewhat irregularly because it relies on wildlife in the surrounding area. Nevertheless, it can be indispensable during a drought, because even the deer and wild boar still roam around the forest.
Okay. Got it.
However, wild animals can not only be shot, they can be captured too. When a wild animal has been captured, it can be brought to a pasture and served there as livestock. In order to capture wild animals, you have to instruct your hunter to do this. You also ought to set up a pasture and assign a herder.
So hunting and capturing. Let's go with that. I'm not sure what species can be... what's the word I'm looking for? Domesticated? This is a large space, but unfortunately... yeah, it's like all over the damn place. Let's put it over here, and we will require herders. So I don't know. You have to make masks and all this weird stuff, but you don't have to really make the sleepy darts, which are putting the animals to sleep and stuff like that. You should not be probably complaining, although there should be some sort of way for me to be forced to provide food for these animals or something. I'm guessing. Really confused. What if we switch purely to capture? There's plenty of animal, I just don't know if the deer or whatever it is that's in here is gonna be able to be captured. We can keep changing the area of effect, but a lot of animals keep showing up in this region. So I'm gonna probably keep it at that place. And we're gonna see if we have the chance to get there for some animals this way. Animal to our pasture. Okay. I have no animals. So I'm choose type of animal. Oh, so we can have roe deer, wild boar, goat, hare, buffalo, and chicken. I cannot choose any type of animal though. Assign the type of animal to your pasture as soon as a hunter has captured an animal. We have 3 hunters. I do wonder if they're gonna capture just about anything. Okay, so he has the deer, so I'm assuming we're gonna have to go with the deer. Are there wild chickens in here? Wow, this game is... sounds a little nuts, but okay. We have lots of medication, at least we were able to produce it fast enough. Okay. Choose the type of animal.
Animals captured by a hunter are brought to a pasture where they are tended to and cared for by herders. Some animals produce resources such as milk or eggs. Other animals can only be slaughtered to eat. You ought to find out for yourself which type of animal brings you which benefit. On each pasture, you can choose which type of animal ought to be kept there.
Yep.
You must provide water for the animals you keep on your pasture. This enables them to survive and reproduce. When enough animals are fully grown, the herder will start to slaughter them. If you don't want animals to be slaughtered, you can also instruct the herder not to do so.
Okay.
Now your herders know how they ought to handle the animals. And now that you've already captured several animals, don't forget to instruct your hunters to hunt animals again in the future so that they can continue to gather and provide food.
Let's go hunting and capturing.
With our increased production, our stockpile is going to run out soon. The supply routes for our production buildings are getting longer and longer too. To tackle these problems, you ought to build a temporary storeroom and have roads laid out.
Okay. So I'm assuming logistics. Let's build it over here. And dirt road. Okay. So we're gonna build around the settlement.
Good. Temporary storerooms increase your settlement's general storage capacity. Place them in a targeted manner in order to shorten the routes for goods between your production buildings. Roads are equally a great benefit because settlers moving on roads can go distinctly faster than on a normal supporting surface.
Okay.
To improve the whole thing even further, we can build a market to improve logistics at the settlement. Besides being an enormous stockpile for resources that is even able to store water, the market is responsible for distributing resources within your settlement. What's more, it also increases your settlers' confidence.
Okay. Still not sure where to measure confidence. We have knowledge, radiation, health. Oh, so this is the confidence. Okay. Market. Whoa, there's a massive building. It would be awesome if we can keep it in range of just about everything here. So I'm assuming we're gonna build it like so. And I'm gonna try to build the roads even more. So our builders are gonna be crazy busy. They should probably increase their numbers. What would be great is to do this. And temporary storeroom. I'd consider that having here as well. And I'm assuming eventually we're gonna need like multiple tailor shops, one for this, one for that, one for that. Or maybe it's just better to have the radiation suit being constructed. I'm assuming. So this thing requires cloth, which we have, charcoal, which we have, and plastic, which we have. So hopefully this is gonna work out. I cannot believe how easy it is to produce the plastic here. I'm gonna still keep one of these things to work on plastic production. But look at it. Although we have been getting it as well with the rewards. Logistics.
Logisticians are able to amass resources from the whole settlement and bring them to the market. This improves the flow of your products and leads to your settlers having to walk shorter distances to fulfill their individual needs. The combination of these attributes makes the market the ideal building when you want to enlarge or even relocate your settlement.
Okay.
The larger your settlement gets, the farther some settlers have to travel to get to all of the food you produce. To make life a little easier for them, you can build a food station. Logisticians who work at the food station will collect food from your storage buildings and production facilities.
We're gonna have to dump a lot of people into the logistics. We're gonna go with 15. And food station. Let's build it over here. And let's build it over here. And we need to assign more people to building duties. Let's go with 10 for now. Since we have still the dirt roads to be constructed. Needs ruins. Okay, so we need to send you fellas to a new location. Let's give you this location. We're gonna also assign more people to that department since we have like 36 people. Growing crops in a larger capacity would be probably also nice. It seems like we have rich diet because we have access to berries, mushrooms, we have the pasture, we have the fishing, and we have cabbage, and we have an orchard. But in order for us to do this even more proficiently and efficiently, probably additional farm should be considered. Let's go 10 times 10, and we ought to choose what sort of crops are gonna be cultivated on this place. Do we have only access to cabbage now? Yeah. Can we deconstruct this farm then? Probably. So water. Capacity is probably getting another access to water. So water tower. No, water tower. The well. That's what I want. Here we cannot really build it. But we should be able to build it over here. And we will need another well keeper. It's hard for me to tell if the road has been constructed, but I'm assuming yes. Assign settlers to professional logistics.
With the new food station, your settlers are now able to supply themselves with food directly on site. If your settlement is supposed to grow even further, you can think about whether you want to provide additional food stations.
I think we need more farmers. Great.
Distributing food at your settlement is going to prove to be extremely practical. However, your settlers not only need food to survive, they need water too. To be able to distribute water in a targeted manner,
Oh my
you
God.
can build a water point.
Water... What? What the hell is a water point? Water point. Yeah, okay. I see what you did there. Let's build one over here. And I don't know. One over here. That way we can build the dirt road. So it goes like so. And we can build another cabin in here. Dirt road is active. Cabbage is growing. Doesn't look like we're gonna have things to bother with like winter. It's more the radiation which is gonna be the factor to keep an eye out on. So we are now making the last variety of this. So these are the radiation suits. I'm not really sure which is more important. It's not explained, but we'll try to have access to just about everything. Raw venison. I don't see the option where I can choose that I cannot slaughter the animals. So I'm not sure what you think about that, but okay. Assign settlers to the profession logistics.
Now that your settlers also have a water point available, they can supply themselves with water and food. Similar to how it's done at the food stations, this enables you to precisely control at which places your settlers are able to attend to their needs. Since we have our logistics under control, now we can concern ourselves with the weather and its challenges. We can build a weather station to enable us to make a forecast regarding upcoming weather and learn if potentially contaminated rain might be coming our way. It can also be used to prepare our crops and rainwater collectors we might have against contaminated rain by covering them.
Okay, interesting. Let's expand the road in order for it to reach this. And I do wonder if we need to assign people to some sort of weird researcher, maybe? Still don't have access to stuff like pub. Irrigator. Okay, so I'm assuming that's gonna be connected to the whole irrigation system. A decontaminator. I don't know how many of them do we need.
Very good. Now that we know what sort of weather awaits us and how we can protect ourselves against contaminated rain by covering our crops and rainwater collectors, we ought to attend to collecting the rain we want.
Okay.
Rain not only humidifies the soil, it can also be automatically collected via rainwater collectors to generate a steady flow of additional water. Since we've already built our weather station, we're able to decide what kind of circumstances would make us want to cover our rain collectors.
So if I were to build 2, and how am I gonna be able to? I want to know how. Okay, so weakly contaminated rain. We had medium contaminated rain. Now we have no rain.
Never forget that our settlers might get sick if we distribute water contaminated with radiation at our settlement, even if they're wearing protective clothing. We should make sure that the collected water is as purified as possible.
Okay.
We can have our crops covered to shield our seedlings against radiation. But once they've been covered, naturally they won't be irrigated with rain anymore. To rectify this problem, we can build an irrigation plant that is able to artificially regulate soil humidification. Place this building with care, because it is only going to irrigate the soil within its impact radius.
Understood. So let's put it over there. So does this mean that each time there's gonna be rain incoming? Damn it. The water is contaminated in here. So how do I purify the water? We have the water purifier, or does it need to go through here before it can go into everyone's belly, or how does this work? A little confused right now. Irrigator, irrigator, irrigator. Weirdest name ever. And there's just so much stuff by now. It's
As long as our irrigation plant is supplied with filtered water, it is able to neutralize a possible contamination of the soil due to radiation. But watch out. When water contaminated with radiation is fed into the system, this can lead to precisely the opposite. And the irrigation plant itself may possibly cause radioactive pollution of its surrounding area.
okay.
Alongside contaminated rain, there are other environmental hazards, such as sandstorms or droughts. The soil dries out during a drought, and sandstorms sweep across the landscape from time to time. These sandstorms can damage your buildings and ultimately make them unfit for use. We ought to prepare for this and assign several more builders to enable potential damage to be repaired.
Okay, how do we cover these things? Activate, deactivate production. That's the thing. Understood.
You can decide which type of task your builders ought to give priority to at our town center. You can instruct them to merely repair buildings, to erect new buildings, or to do both at the same time. This enables you to react quickly in crisis situations. For instance, in the event of a sandstorm, you can quickly attend to having damaged buildings repaired.
Okay. We're gonna see a
Now that
sandstorm.
we've taken care of all the necessary needs of our settlement, such as food,
Whoa!
water, protective clothing, and tools, our next efforts ought to focus on increasing the settlement's overall productivity. A research station allows us to develop different technologies. One step in moving our settlement ahead is to make it possible for our refiners to acquire electronics from scrap. We should perform research on the appropriate technology to achieve this and instruct one of our refiners to produce electronics.
Okay, here's the issue which I have. I have no idea where we are currently. Is this the season 55 here at 56? The uncontaminated rain, which is gonna happen right now. So we can theoretically activate this, and then immediately at day 57 we're gonna have to deactivate them because there's gonna be weekly contaminated rain. That's why I don't know. Assign a research station. Okay. Technology research station. Man, these are some massive structures. And we need research. We still have 25 settlers. So currently there is the uncontaminated rain. So this is gonna fill in who knows how much. But then immediately after, we're gonna have to stop them. So this is gonna be a nightmare because you're gonna have to micromanage the living hell out of these structures. Therefore, I'm assuming having the jetty or having the system for the wells established is gonna be much more effective. So immediately after the rain is gone, we are just gonna refocus on cutting out the gathering of rain. Okay, so now we have this, and we're gonna postpone this so they put down some sort of roofing over the water collector, because we're gonna have 2 days of contaminated rain. Then there's gonna be no rain, then contaminated rain, and I'm assuming we're able to tell this because of this. Set the rain contaminated level at which the response buildings are supposed to be protected. Rainwater collector, hold on. Set the rain contaminated level at which the respective buildings are supposed to be covered to protect them. Low. Fields, low. Medium. Let's go with this. Okay, these sandstorms are suddenly coming in out of freaking nowhere, and they are annoying the living hell out of me. Question is how this is gonna affect the gatherer's cabin and the herbal hut, because you can see that clearly these woods are now completely dry and empty. We're gonna have to relocate our area of effect, so let's go and clear out another chunk of land. We're gonna have to keep an eye out on this. Okay, so we have research in the science, knowledge, and how the hell do we do research? Tasks, maybe here? Oh, okay. Loitering ban, fish feed, sturdy house, kitchen, resources, hemp weaving mill, refinery. I think we need refinery, right? What do we need? Produce electronics, researchers, electronics researched. Okay. Electricity, electronics, start the research. Okay. Still contaminated rain, so we don't want to deal with that. It looks like even the field is now covered, but thanks to the irrigation plan that this is gonna work out. This is gonna exactly work like in Anno 1404, where you had to build the Jesus, what was the name of it? It's on the tip of my tongue. These were like some sort of water mills. Norias, and they were responsible for keeping your crops hydrated or irrigated in the oriental region of the map. So they worked also on a circle like this, and people came out with like a neat system where you had like 0 dead space. So you were able to maximize the utilization of them and keep your crops constantly watered without any issues whatsoever. Okay, there's what is this? Mark for salvaging. An interesting place. Sent a scout from expedition station to explore this site. Don't have that. Research was performed. New tech was something. Okay, wind turbine, solar collector, tech and defense, advanced school, immunity, defense measure, resources, coal mining, upgrade tailor shop, upgrade workshop, mining, loading, scrap catcher, What else is there that we need? Recycler. Instruct recycler to produce electronics. The problem here is
Very
electronics.
good. With this new research station and the ability to acquire electronics from scrap, we can provide our settlement with all the materials we need. The research station is very useful in enabling us to adapt ourselves to our surroundings by using the right technologies in any situation. Down in the Endzone, we dealt with the concept of a solar collector. This solar collector is able to collect sunlight and convert it into electricity. We wanted to try out whether our idea works and build a solar collector.
Okay, so we're gonna have to go into here. Electricity, wind turbine, solar collector. I'm already researched, so I'm assuming I'm gonna have to build it, right? Electricity, solar collector. Whoa. This looks like Helios Station from Fallout New Vegas, right? Let's see if we can build the roads through here. And I don't know who or what sort of a job we're gonna need.
The solar collector produces energy by capturing sunlight and feeding this energy into a grid. The solar collector also gives us all the relevant information we need to keep an eye on our settlement's power consumption.
Okay.
Each of your buildings automatically hook up to this power grid when you set up an electric power pole within the building's range.
Okay.
Buildings supplied with electricity work distinctly, more effectively, and produce faster as a result.
Okay.
What's more, housing supplied with electricity increases the confidence of the settlers who use it.
Understood. So that means we're gonna need to build electric poles. I don't know if they can be built on top of a road though. That's what I do not know. I don't know if this one structure is gonna be able to power everything. What's the distance? Are you okay? Yeah, I don't think we have enough juice coming out of this place in order to power everything. But who knows, I might be pleasantly surprised. Everything is honestly possible these days. It would be awesome if we can get this place up and running though. How is the research station not connected is my question. Oh, okay. That's why. So we would need to rotate it in order for me to gain the access to it. This is gonna suck. Hold on. This way we might be able to build it. It's gonna be all over the damn place, I can assure you that already. I did not consider this. So theoretically, if I would build a space in between the houses, 2 tiles wide, one for the road, one for space for the electricity to move around, we might have something to work with here. Do we need someone to man this, or does this just automatically run? And are these poles constructed, or no, not really? Like, how do I know that the grid is successfully connected? And when it's red, what does that mean exactly? Where's our electricity produced? Yeah, I should slow this down in order for me to figure out what the hell is happening right now. We have unassigned workforce. Probably gonna have to build like another one of these things. Do we need daytime? Probably. Stupid question.
Fantastic. I can only picture how our ancestors must have felt with their almost infinite supply of energy. However, you ought to constantly keep an eye on your power consumption to avoid outages.
Okay.
Logically, the solar collector is only able to produce energy during the daytime. It would be beneficial if we could also make electricity available at night so that our settlement remains effective. It's clear that we currently work slower at night, so let's try to store the surplus energy we produce during the daytime to enable it to be used at night.
Okay. Battery. Battery. Let's build the battery over here. Looks like we are light radiation. How's this region? Still has 33 pieces of scrap metal. We're gonna have to relocate our scrapyard business eventually. This place is kind of sparse. This place has quite a lot of stuff. Even this place. We can actually go over here. That's a stupid amount of battery build 1. Soon's gonna be done.
That looks good. Some buildings are now connected to the power grid. Although a well-structured settlement that's hooked up to the power grid consumes a certain amount of resources, it is enormously effective. Oh, and just as an aside, you can have electric power poles put up on many surfaces, even on roads.
But will they not block the road? That's my question.
With the settlement producing on a stable scale, we can now focus on exploring our surroundings. Though we heard a bunch of stories in the Endzone, now we can explore the ruins our ancestors left behind firsthand to find treasure and resources. Let's build an expedition station.
Expedition station. Where can I find? Okay, in technology. Quite large building. Okay, I'm cramming everything everywhere. Still have space over here. Trying to research the wind turbines. So we're gonna see how that's gonna work out for us. Wind turbine has been researched. The question is if we can actually construct it, and how many scouts can we have? Let's go with 6. And electricity, wind turbine. Because these things reduce the attractiveness of a place. I'm gonna build 3 of them over here, and I'm gonna make sure that it's
Well done.
connected.
Assign settlers to be scouts and prepare expedition rations. When you want to send off an expedition,
What's
you can
expedition
decide
ration?
the quantity of expedition rations with which to supply the expedition.
Okay.
As a result, you can control how long and how thoroughly it is able to explore a ruin.
Interesting.
Let's send
Where
out
do
a
I
few
produce
scouts
this?
to find a ruin. The scout will visit the ruin you have designated and explore it. As a result, the scout will supply us with important information about the site that we should pay attention to when we start an expedition.
Send scout. Waiting for 3 scouts. We have like 6 of them. Are we gonna see some sort of cool animation? I don't see anything happening, so how the hell do I get out of this view? Okay. What is this? Production stopped due to empty work areas. Check scrapyard. Yep. Okay. So we talked about this. I wanted to put it over here. It's quite far, but it's quite a lot of scrapyards. Understood. They managed to search the building. Okay. So there's all sorts of stuff. I don't know. Joint? Jesus Christ. Okay. Configure expedition. This run is nothing special, Chief. However, if we send some of us to an expedition, at least we could dismantle the material and transfer them back to the settlement. Mark for salvaging. Okay. Interesting location. Send scouts.
Our scout has returned and brought along a variety of useful information. Now that we know what we have to reckon with, we can put together a team in order to explore the ruin more precisely. Each ruin has its own challenges, secrets, and valuable resources. Choose settlers who fulfill the necessary prerequisites for the respective ruin, and give them enough expedition rations to take along. In addition, don't forget to equip them with protective clothing and tools to the best of your ability before you send them off.
I'm trying to see if these additional poles are gonna work on connecting us to the power grid, because we are still in the dark quite dramatically here. It's kind of annoying. So I want to make sure that we utilize this to our fullest potential. Although I feel like we were being stuck somewhere due to something weird. I'm not sure exactly what is it. But, okay. So I can literally see these things are going dark. They should not be going dark. So if we connect it to this pole, is it the like limit how much power is able to be transferred from point A to point B? Should I be building the wind turbines all over the place so that, for example, we have access to grid or power over in here? Efficiency 100%, I don't see the issue with it. Well, now we have connected more buildings to the power grid somehow. Trying to make sure everything is up and running, but it's like all over the damn place. I feel like more wind turbines are gonna be necessary in order to run this effectively. Okay, I think we are consuming way too much energy. So one battery is clearly not enough. We need to get out of this electrical view. Probably another solar thingy is gonna be awesome. Or we would just need to build a ton of wind turbines. But I'm not really sure how that would work. So let's do this. Go ahead, another logistical system put in place for tiny logistics. These solar grids don't need energy. 350 We're gonna need another battery because we have quite a massive grid connected to the whole system, so the infrastructure is obviously too much for what we are able to produce. And open expedition window. What is this? Settler badge, settler gatherer badge, farmer badge. I have no idea what these things do. Send a scout, send a scout, send a scout, send a scout. Oh, so we can send multiple scouts simultaneously. Okay. The question is, what do we get from this? This must be one of the greenhouses that people used for farming. Man, life must have been much more carefree back then. The greenhouse itself is in bad shape, but there's a variety of plants growing here that we haven't seen anywhere else. So I don't know what happens like if we go in here. If I mark this for salvaging, what would happen? Or where exactly is that greenhouse? There's gonna be an route. Okay, this place. Should I like salvage this? Are we gonna get by doing that exactly what we need, that blueprint? Prepare yourself for an expedition. Show task introduced again.
Each ruin has its own challenges, secrets, and valuable resources.
Okay.
Choose settlers who fulfill the necessary prerequisites for the respective ruin.
How?
And give them enough expedition rations to take along.
How?
In addition, don't forget to equip them with protective clothing and tools to the best of your ability before you send them off.
Again, little struggling here. Hey Chief, one of the scouts here, I went to coordinates you suggested and came across an old storage depot, pretty run down, walls are missing, rust everywhere, a downright ruin. Looks like there's an old shipping container inside. If you're thinking of sending an expedition here, it might be just worth it. Okay, the thing is, I want to figure out a furniture store. The building apparently deals with store chief. The lettering "My home is my castle" is embezzled on a sign up front, which had probably been a slogan at the time when things revolved around having your own home. The luxury of decorating our end zone with all kinds of chic furniture and other objects. How do I configure an expedition for the greenhouse, for example? Okay, so we have people, and I have zero idea who to send or how to do this. This must be one of the greenhouses. Okay. So should I send like farmers? Okay. Do I send just one person? Let's send you two. I don't know, honestly. A little confused here. I don't know how much can we send or give them. Capacity 10? I don't know. Start expedition. This is another expedition is already on its way. So we can send only like one at a time. But we should be able to do the scouting though, right?
Now that you've commissioned the expedition, it's now in preparation stage. Expedition rations and other necessary resources are being amassed. Afterwards, the settlers you selected will relinquish their old tasks, assemble, equip themselves, and subsequently set off together on their way.
Okay.
Good news. Your expedition has finally reached its destination. Now it's all up to you. Contact them and listen to what they have to say to you. make wise decisions and guide the settlers through the ruin with meticulous care.
Okay. Your expedition has arrived at the destination. I think we are at a different place. We can send scouts all over the damn place. That's awesome. There seems to be a couple of places together here. But where exactly is it that we have sent our people? Okay, configure expedition. This run is nothing special, Chief. However, if we send some of us on an expedition, at least we could dismantle the materials and transfer them back to the settlement. So I don't know, maybe the people from the logistics can do this? We're gonna send primarily fellas. Start the expedition, I'm guessing. I'm really confused right now. Send a scout, sure. Another expedition is on its way. Settlers badges and some other stuff. Okay. Okay. Greenhouse. I swear to God, I've sent people here, but I'm not sure what's happening. Our expedition has arrived at a destination. How the hell lead the expedition? I'm so confused with this. Okay. Open expedition window. Open expedition window. What are these weird red dots? I'm doing scouting. Send a scout. We have places where we can send scouts still. Okay. We have already scouted this place. I'm trying to figure out what's this. This looks like a freaking hospital. Okay. Waiting for free scouts. Focus destination. Explorers are being gathered. Sure, I guess. 350. Yeah, we are running out of juice constantly. So that's bad. I don't think the wind turbines are capable of producing just simply enough. Water-wise, we are doing a-okay. We are monitoring this, so the rain collectors are just incapable of producing just about anything at this point. Okay. It seems like we are almost there, or select a group leader. I don't know if that's gonna do just about anything. Looks like they're processing this building. Okay, we have another sandstorm, unfortunately. Don't know how that's gonna affect everything. But he's sitting on his ass. He's not picking up anything. Great help. We have a drought on our hands. Ruin scouted. Okay, looks like an old gas station. Even after all these years, there's still a smell of gasoline hanging in the air. At any rate, there are still 2 buildings here where something still might be found, Chief. It will be best if you send someone along who knows their way around tech. Okay. We can send a scout to an interesting location in here. Send a scout. Send a scout. Is that a missile silo? It's gonna be probably highly irradiated. Doctor's office ruined. That sounds awesome. Hospital ruined. That sounds awesome too. Send a scout, please. And send a scout. This can be a military installation of sorts. I'm still confused with the... okay. Expedition capacity. So I need to choose what do they take. Wow, that's a lot of raw venison. I don't recall... okay. Pack full. What does that mean? Pack full. Okay, so only because I provided so many provisions they are able to extract so many things. Time to head home. I guess it's back to the daily grind, right? Okay.
Well done. Your decisions during an expedition are decisive for its success. Try to be as well prepared as possible and make wise decisions because the consequences could be fatal. Now let's loot this place and get out of here. Take as many resources as your settlers can carry and bring them back to your settlement.
Okay, so we can do only one research at a time. Hemp weaving, oh yeah, the refinery is something which I would love to get my hands on.
Now that you know how you can help your settlers to manage in this environment so hostile to life, I'd like to show you how you can design your settlement in such a way so that your settlers are not only able to survive in it, they're actually glad to be here as well. Your settlers are eager to live in surroundings that please them. For instance, they'd rather not live next to a building that produces lots of noise or dirty grime.
Yep.
You can switch to the heat map of dwellings attractiveness to be able to see just how attractive the dwellings in your settlement are.
So attractive, and apparently these are the non-attractive things.
In this view, you see which cabins and shelters have been placed in attractive surroundings and which ones are in unattractive surroundings. If you want to make your settlers particularly happy, you should pay attention to providing them with attractive surroundings.
Okay.
To increase the attractiveness of a residential area, you can put up some decorations to beautify your settlement. Each decoration increases the attractiveness of the area where it has been placed. Maybe it's time for you to design your settlement a little more attractively to make your settlers happier.
How would I do that? Shrub? Yeah, they probably hate this place over here. I'm not sure if the flag is gonna change it though. It seems like this just went even lower. Okay, I don't see a change. Decorations. Street lamp. Okay. That has helped. These three are still hating it. I can understand it. A busy road behind their houses. Maybe if I would relocate. Other than that, it seems to be working. Problem is, I barely see what space we got left here. So let's build this here. Let's put some shrubs over here. It's increasing everything. And theoretically, we can try to increase this. Like so. It's a guess.
Your settlers are really going to like the newly built decorations.
Okay.
This way, you can even manage to design a residential area attractively that's located near industrial buildings. And with sufficient time and energy, even create a settlement where all your settlers are glad to live in it. Although living in a pretty neighborhood isn't the only thing that interests your settlers, They want you to take care of their other needs as well. If you provide them with a forum, they'll make their wishes and requests known to you. You can find out what means a lot to them there.
Okay, configure expedition. We need a settler technician. I don't even know if we have that. I'm gonna have to look hard for that. That's a builder. Medic badge. Okay, we should have a medic. I wish there was a okay, technician. Don't see that, but we do have this. Scrap collector. Okay. Why isn't the first person, however, as a medic accounted for? Why can do I need surplus of medics or what's happening here? Taylor. Ooh, this is gonna be difficult. Probably I'm gonna have to send people to other place then. Doctor's office. Okay. Medic. So you are a medic. Okay. Explorer aged adult or younger. Explorer. I don't know. I don't see an explorer available. Pup keeper. We don't have a pup keeper. That's the weirdest requirement for a building ever. What about here? Charcoal burner. Okay. Charcoal burner, and yet it's not giving me the boost which I'm looking for. Metal tools. I don't know. Logistics. Oh, this is by a name, not by a trade? Well then, hold on. Scrap. Oh, okay. So this is also a change. Radiation protection. Radiation suits. Let's do that. I'm new at this. This is a tutorial. I kind of need to know. Settlers badges. Okay. And now we can just put in anyone and they're gonna be happy. How do we increase the capacity? Okay, so 20 seems to be the maximum. I don't know. Let's go with the logistics, I'm guessing. And we can send off the expedition over here. I do wonder if we can send multiple expeditions simultaneously, or if I would need like 2 of these locations. Forum. Okay. Probably would be awesome if I could squeeze it in here. So what I'm gonna do is decommission this and build the forum like so. What about the build condition? Repair next. I don't understand. Okay, repair next. So everything else is full health. Okay, seems so. Everything of the population is here.
Many of your settlers' requests are collected for you at the forum. You ought to check every now and then whether you might be willing to agree to one of those wishes.
Okay.
However, The Forum is not only responsible for enabling your settlers to turn to you. At the Forum, you can address them too. You can issue decrees and establish rules at the Forum, stating how your settlers need to behave. This way, for example, you can ration food and water, or go so far as to prohibit your settlers from reproducing in the near future.
Okay. So what do I do? Birth control, banish children, banish elderly, food rationing, water rationing, search for survivors. Okay. Enact decree, and I don't really see anything else which I would want right now, so is that enough? Okay, all set chief in the near future will be on the lookout for radio messages sent out by other survivors and notify you if we run into anything. Okay, awesome. And if we go into the expedition...
This one's pretty much a wreck. The whole depot will probably collapse the next time a severe storm comes along. Watch out that none of those metal struts falls on your heads. We could have put some thought into protective gear, but who would think you'd need helmets in the post-apocalypse?
Okay, I did give you protective gear. What's it look like inside? Well, seems like the scouts assessed the situation correctly. There's apparently not much to salvage here except scrap, but maybe there's a surprise waiting inside the containers. Okay. Let's go with the first one. The latch for opening the container was pretty rusty, but a little force got it open. Guess no one thought it was necessary to attach extra lock. Oh well, the only thing in here are cases filled with black powder. 1 second, our charcoal burner here says it's probably the pulverized coal that's used to produce compressed coal briquettes. Good thing we have him along. It never would have crossed my mind, not for the life of me. Okay, what's in the second container? Child's play. The container is filled with crates. Want to guess what's inside the crates, Chief? Stuffed toys. The only place I've seen animals like that until was in old books. Lions, polar bears, seals, elephants. We'll take few with us. Our little ones will surely get a big kick out of them. Okay. And storage depot. Okay, sums it up. Anything? Okay, so loot and return, I'm guessing. There's quite a lot of stuff that can be done. Expedition rations are just gonna fill in everything. Coal can be extracted. It's gonna only, you know what, let's get it to 25%. Wood can go, how much? 40. Scrap is gonna get us not even to 50. And the rest can be the rations. Okay. Safe trip home. Okay, so I'm starting to understand how this works. So it's like a small mini game. Okay, radioactive reminder. Complete the mission from bulletin board. I've already taken one before you can. Okay. Hey Chief, it's been quite some time since we ventured out in our end zone. We've experienced a lot for the better, but we had to go through a lot too. Particularly this damn radiation demand a lot from us. We think it's time to erect a memorial that always reminded us not to retreat, not to repeat the mistakes of our ancestors. Okay, we can do that. We need to activate a birth control. Jesus Christ, okay. So let's do that.
Many of the decrees are extremely helpful toward enabling the survival of your settlement, though you should watch out that you don't demand too much of your settlers. If you ask too much of them, it can lead to discontentment spreading throughout your settlement. That's why you always ought to use caution in deciding which decrees you want to impose.
Let's do the memorial over there. If those are the instruction sheets, then that's we'll stick to them, even though we're not particularly happy about them. And would gladly decide for ourselves when we start our families. It would be better if we could see to that we're able to continue to grow.
Although such a thriving settlement like this one here not only has its advantages, it could be that the attention of prowling raiders is drawn to you.
Okay.
You'll have to defend yourself against them. First of all, it's going to be important to set up your own defenses. An ammunition factory is going to be necessary to arm those settlers who will be defending your settlement in the future. It would be best if you also assigned several technicians right away who are supposed to work at the ammunition factory.
Okay. Ammunition factory. Probably not the smartest thing to build it at the outskirts. Don't know how these raiders are gonna work though. Man, this thing is getting super long, super weird. But there's just so much to go over in order to actually get the understanding of this whole shebang. I'm still thinking I'm gonna need a whole bunch of more wind turbines, to be perfectly honest. Well, either that or we're building a whole bunch of more batteries. Why is this not connected to anything? That's what I'm kind of confused. Oh, because this one needs to get filled first? Is that it? Can we see how much electricity we are producing? Because if we were producing 5,000 and 5,000 a pop, I feel like this one is not connected to anything though. Is that the problem? That this one is just sitting here and it's not connected? Okay, this is the... Hold on, what was that? Okay. Assign technicians. We need technicians. Explorers 0, technicians. Where are they? Jesus Christ. Just learning who is where is gonna be a pain on its own.
It's left up to you to decide whether you want to have your ammunition factory manufacture lethal or non-lethal ammunition. While lethal ammunition deals damage to the attacking raiders, non-lethal ammunition ensures that their morale sinks. If the raiders have lost all their morale, they'll flee.
And you're trying to tell me if I shoot you with an actual bullet, your morale will not go down?
No matter what type of ammunition you want to have manufactured, one thing can't be missing. Your ammunition factory requires some sulfur for production. Sulfur can be obtained in your mines. To do this, simply instruct your mines to mine sulfur in the future.
So that means we need mining Lodine. Mines Lodine can be used to at medical to produce Lodine tablets. Okay, that's not apparently what I want then. Mining tunnel construction, food and housing, sturdy house. Coal mining. Logistics. Improved radio, warehouse, paved roads, electricity, electric water pump. Nice. Advanced school, immunity, defense measures. Sounds interesting. Seems to be super low on metal though. Kitchen. Resources. Damn, if I would only know. Let's do the refinery then, I'm guessing. So suddenly I have access to the mining? Mine, okay. Do I just build a mine anywhere? Okay, I'm a little confused here. I'm not really sure. Is that it? I don't know, there's this weird piece of stone over here. And I'm getting this weird glitchy thing with like the radiation. It almost looks like your screen is covered in water or something. So it's like carrying over. It's really weird. Oh, that's because the game was paused. Okay, so that's why. That's just weird as hell. I'm not sure what we're gonna be mining though, because I did not do the research or anything. What's happening? I don't understand. Are we low on scrap? We need to relocate our scrap yards. We have 308. I'm so confused right now. Is it the distance or... If we build it over here, there's 433 scrap to be gathered. It's closer than this stuff, and then we can return to it, or we can potentially tap into this stuff over here. But I'm still a little confused with this mine. Sulfur, so it's just gonna automatically produce sulfur. We just need to build it to a mountain. Because that's not how mines work. Like, you get sulfur out of really specific locations. Same goes for iron, same goes for copper, same goes for tens of thousands of other minerals and deposits and whatnot. It seems like we are missing something. Okay, scrap is missing, and we need 5 miners. What would happen if we would give them a task to just gather scrap? 71, 177, 180. It's gonna be workforce of 4 people. Hopefully it's gonna help us tap into more scrap metal. As it seems I have caused an issue for myself. Water is good, food is good. Yeah, the mines are definitely gonna be probably a big no-no to just about freaking everyone. Kind of did not think this through. That's gonna have a bit of a detrimental effect on how much they are gonna love living here, as that's gonna affect the surrounding houses. But whatever. It's built already, so let's see if we can get that sulfur running. I'm still a little confused with this. Only allowed me to do sulfur, so I'm not gonna question it too much. Energy surplus, energy, yeah, we are far exceeding our...
Very good, old friend. Now the production of ammunition can get going full steam ahead.
Maybe one more of these?
To be able to give your settlement blanket protection against attackers, the next thing you want to do is to build several watchtowers and assign militia there. Your settlers will fire at raiders from these watchtowers. It will be best if you place your towers in such a way that they don't stand too close to each other, so that your entire settlement can be protected whenever possible.
Okay. Man, this is one long ass tutorial. Watchtower? 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 Tower? Tower? And I I think that's surrounding our settlement quite nicely. Build one additional one over here. Priority for defense. Is the research done now? Yep. Coal mining. Hemp weaving, but we don't even have access to that. Let's do the sturdy house then. Guessing we would have to do the expedition next. And we're gonna have to see what's available in the surrounding area. Cake shop. Okay. Interesting. Age recommendation. Settler badges. I don't know if we have those. I think we were at the fast food already, but we did not prepare correctly. All gear recommendation, next carve, train station, and settler scrap collector. Okay, configure expedition. Settler's badge. Yes. Sure, I guess 2 of them will do. And I don't know, we can take people from the logistics. And we're gonna give you the... What is this? This resource is not available. So let's go with 15 metal tools. Next scarves. Sure. Start. Okay, we're gonna see how that's gonna work out. It's gonna take them time to prep this thing and then send them off to go on their merry way. We are missing some electronics apparently. Although we have like 65 of them. And the question is, militia. Okay. And the question is if we're going to be able to build up these towers. And if they need to be connected to the power grid. Apparently they do, which is awesome. Considering power is right now my biggest downfall. Still have not figured it out completely. Okay, this should tap into the fishery, and this way we are gonna be able to power up all that is necessary.
Very good. These watchtowers form the center of your defense. At each watchtower, you can individually configure the type of ammunition the militia who have been assigned there are supposed to fire at the raiders.
Yeah, lethal. Lethal. We're going lethal.
As you can see, the raiders...
Okay, hold on. Raiders. Every now and then it might happen that raider casts an eye on the settlement. If they decide to attack, watchtowers, siren towers, or barricades can be used to defend the settlement. A gang of raiders will make their way across the settlement and loot resources from all the buildings in their vicinity. In the process, all buildings within the radius will be damaged as well. The raiders won't withdraw until they have either looted enough resources or their morale has decreased too sharply. If the militia shoots metal projectiles at the raiders, this will reduce their force strength. If the militia shoots using rubber bullets, this lowers the raiders' morale. Okay.
You've said my people are hopeless cases. We were once. I took in one and all. Together we are strong. Give us what we need, then no one will get hurt.
You're getting absolutely nothing from me. If I would be able to build a tower over here somewhere, I would be ecstatic. Unfortunately, not gonna be able to happen. So how does a raider force look like? What the hell is literally almost looks like the orcs from Lord of the Rings or something is happening here. It's so freaky, but okay. So I'm assuming they're gonna be coming in from this general direction. And we have 2 towers in here. You can theoretically build one additional one over here. Just in order to cover up this blind spot as if. Really hate the fact that we cannot build this over here, just due to this would have to be pushed 1 square to the right. But I'm like, actually this is a good idea for a video of like potential city layouts which work for this game. Now I'm interested to see what's gonna happen here, and now I'm interested to see if the expedition is gone, or if they have gone, or... so where are they? So their strength or morale, I'm not sure. This shows strength is like, morale is green, strength is red. Literally dying to see how this is gonna work out, because they will have to go through this place. So the strength is being reduced. Don't know, do we need more militia? Let's go with 16. We're gonna probably need more morticians as is. Really hate the fact that I did not decide to build that tower over here. This is gonna cause a bit of a problem for us.
It looks as if they were the last raiders,
Okay.
and the settlement's still standing. Well, it did get a few scratches here and there, but nothing we couldn't recover from.
We'll rise again, over and over again, and that's a promise.
Few losses, leave us in peace. Killed militia, destroyed buildings, damaged buildings. Okay. Leave us in peace.
However, in many cases, the raiders won't be paying you a visit just like that, without any advance warning and a reason. Most of the time, they'll demand tribute from you beforehand. If you can pay this tribute, they'll leave you in peace. That is, at least for a certain period of time. This time, I want you to pay the tribute the raiders are demanding from you, so that we can focus on rebuilding here at the settlement.
Okay. And that's graduation achievement. Cool.
Very good. By doing so, you bought us a little time to be able to prepare ourselves further.
Okay.
I think the time has come at last for me to bow out as mentor. I've taught you everything I know, and you've proven yourself by keeping us healthy and in good spirits. I may have taken care of heading our last days in the Endzone, but now all my faith lies with you. I believe that you are going to lead us to a glorious future.
Okay. Tutorial takes almost 3 hours. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so interesting. I'm definitely gonna try to play this again. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the episode is gonna be uploaded. I publish fun content like this on a weekly basis, so check it out. Links are in the description. And I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully I will see you all at the next one. Thank you for watching, stay safe out there, and bye-bye for now.